Covalent bond is formed by sharing of electrons, and then covalent bond is characterized by certain bond parameters. They are bond length, bond order, bond angle and bond enthalpy. We will see one by one. So first you take bond length. Bond length is nothing but distance between the nuclei of two covalently bonded atoms. So here you take this atom and its nuclei, and this is another atom with its nuclei, and these two are connected by a covalent bond, and the distance between the nuclei of this atom here like this, here and here from here. So when you take this distance of these two nuclei, that will give the bond length. So here this will be nothing but the radii of this atom, and this is the radii of this atom. So when you add the radii of these two atoms, that will give the bond length. For example, you take atom A and atom B. Atom A, its radius is this one. RA is the radius of the atom A, and similarly RB is the radius of the atom B. So when you add these two, that will give the bond length, because the bond length is the distance between the nuclei of this atom and the nuclei of this atom. So we can say that the bond length is equal to RA plus RB in this case. So we can say the bond length is the sum of the radii of covalently bonded atoms. That is with bond length. Now this bond length is directly proportional to the size of the atom. As the size of the atom increases, bond length also increases. For example, you take this example. Here hydrogen fluoride, hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide, hydrogen iodide we have. And here hydrogen is the common element we have, and then along with that you have iodine and then bromine, and here chlorine, here fluorine. And iodine is larger in size compared to bromine. Then comes chlorine, then comes fluorine. Therefore, the hydrogen iodide is having the larger bond length compared to hydrogen bromide. Then comes hydrogen chloride, and the least bond length we have in hydrogen fluoride. So we can see here 1.61 angstrom for hydrogen iodide, because the iodine size is very large. So as the size increases, the nuclei between two atoms, the distance between the two nuclei that will be more increasing, that will be large. Therefore the bond length increases. Therefore hydrogen iodide is having 1.61 angstrom. Then comes hydrogen bromide, that is 1.41. Then comes 1.27, and then 0.92, very small bond length here, because when you take hydrogen is small in size, and fluorine is also very small in size. So now the distance between these two is very small. But when you take hydrogen here, iodine, if you take, it is large in size. So if you take like this, the distance between the two nuclei, it will be somewhat large compared to these two. As the size increases, the bond length also increases. This is one thing. Another one, the bond length is inversely proportional to the number of bonds. That is the multiplicity of the bonds. Multiplicity means the number of bonds. As the number of bonds increases, the bond length decreases. You take this example. Carbon-carbon single bond, carbon-carbon double bond, carbon-carbon triple bond. So in this case, we have single bond where only two electrons are shared between these two. Only two electrons are shared between these two carbon atoms. Here we have four electrons. So 4 electrons are shared between these two carbon. Here 6 electrons are shared between these two carbon atoms. As the number of electrons shared between the two atoms increases, the more will be the force of attraction for the nuclei by the shared pair of electron. Because as the shared pair of electron increases, that will attract the nuclei of two atoms more firmly, more strongly. Therefore, the distance decreases. The nuclei will come closer. Therefore, the distance decreases. So, base here we have 6 electrons. So, it will attract the nuclei of these two carbon atoms very strongly. Therefore, the distance between the nuclei of these two carbon atoms will be short. So, here we can take the carbon-carbon single bond length is greater than carbon-carbon double bond length, which is greater than carbon-carbon triple bond, because here we have only 2 electrons. Here we have 4 electrons. Here we have 6 electrons. Its attraction will be stronger compared to the double bond where you have only 4 electrons compared to single bond where you have only 2 electrons. So the value itself shows 1.54, 1.34, 1.20. It is having very short bond length. So it is very short and it is very strong. The carbon-carbon triple bond is very short and it is very strong compared to carbon-carbon double bond, which is very short and strong compared to carbon-carbon single bond. So this is about bond length. Next we'll go to bond order. So bond order is nothing but the number of bonds formed between two bonded atoms in a molecule. So you take for example hydrogen. You have two hydrogen which is bonded through a single bond. So you have bond order 1. And here in oxygen molecule you have two oxygen atoms bonded through two bonds. So double bond you have. So therefore the bond order is 2. And in nitrogen you have 3 bonds between two nitrogen atoms. So the bond order is 3. So this bond order also you can determine from the number of pair of electrons shared between two atoms. Here only one pair of electrons are shared. So that is 1. Here 2 pairs of electrons are shared. So 2. Here 3 pairs of electrons are shared between two nitrogen atoms. So the bond order is 3. So the number of bonds between two bonded atoms. That is what we call it as bond order. So in a water molecule, you have the central atom oxygen and like this. So here the bond order for OH bond is 1. Similarly here for OH bond 1. So you take ethylene you can have like this, hydrogen, double bond CH. So here the CH bond order is 1, but C double bond C bond order where you have a double bond and so the bond order is 2. So likewise you have to find out the bond order. Then we'll go to bond angle. So bond angle in covalent bond. The covalent compounds are mostly directional in properties. They are having directional in nature. That means the covalent bond is directed towards a specific direction. So since they are directed towards a specific direction, you can take two covalent bond. Between these two covalent bond, what is the angle? That angle is nothing but the bond angle. And this bond angle we can determine only through spectroscopic methods. For example, you take methane. So methane you have hydrogen like this. And here the angle between these two covalent bonds CH and CS, these two covalent bonds, the bond angle is 109 degree 28 minutes. Similarly between these two bonds and 109 degree 28 minutes. So this is the bond angle between two CH bonds in methane. So this we can find out only through spectroscopic methods, and this bond angle will give an idea about the shape of the molecule. And this bond angle and the shape of the molecule we will be learning under later theories like VSEPR theory and hybridization theory we will discuss. Next we'll take ammonia. So ammonia where you have 3 NH bond. They are directed like this and you will have a lone pair of electrons like this. And here the bond angle is 107 degree and 18 minutes. So here between two NH bond the bond angle is 107 degree 18 minutes. Similarly in water molecule you have oxygen, hydrogen, here hydrogen, you have two lone pairs of electrons. So the bond angle between these two OH bond is 104 degree 35 minutes. So this is the bond angle. Next we'll go to bond enthalpy or bond energy. So bond enthalpy is defined as the minimum amount of energy required to break 1 mole of a particular bond in a molecule in gaseous state. So you take hydrogen molecule in gaseous state. So this hydrogen molecule have two hydrogen atom through a covalent bond, bonded through a covalent bond. So to break this covalent bond and convert into hydrogen atom, for that we require 432 kilojoule energy we require. So this bond enthalpy is expressed in units kilojoule per mole. So 432 kilojoule per mole energy is required to break this single bond between two hydrogen atoms to convert into hydrogen atoms in gaseous state. So this is what we call it as bond enthalpy. Similarly, when you take hydrogen fluoride, we have a single bond. To break this single bond, we require 565 kilojoule per mole energy is required. So this is about bond enthalpy, and bond enthalpy or bond energy is directly proportional to the number of bonds. So you take for example carbon single bond carbon, carbon double bond carbon, carbon triple bond carbon. So here this carbon triple bond carbon, this is very, you have 3 bonds. So the bond length is very short and it is very strong bond. Therefore, to break this bond, we require large amount of energy. So, we can say that as the number of bonds increases, the bond energy also increases. So, when you increase the number of bonds, then the bond strength increases. So, the bond will become very strong. Therefore, the bond energy also increases. Therefore, this carbon triple bond carbon will have more bond energy than carbon double bond carbon. Then comes carbon single bond carbon. Now the bond energy is inversely proportional to bond length. You can take the same example. Carbon single bond carbon, carbon double bond carbon, carbon triple bond carbon. So when you take the bond length will be this carbon single bond carbon is having more bond length compared to carbon double bond carbon, which is having more bond length compared to carbon triple bond carbon. Now when you go to bond strength, the reverse will be the order. So based on the bond strength, bond energy will be here. That is carbon single bond carbon will be having less energy compared to carbon double bond carbon, which is having less energy compared to carbon triple bond carbon, because this bond is very strong and it is very having very strength, very strong bond. So it is very difficult to break the bond. Therefore, it is also very short. The bond is very short. So the bond energy will be more. So this is about bond energy and bond length, and then we'll go to bond energy and the size of the atom. So as the size of the atom increases, the bond energy decreases. So you take that is, you take a bond like this. So this bond, the bond length is, if you have very large bond length, then it will be very easy to break. When you have a smaller bond length, then it is very difficult to break. So as the size of the atom increases, it will become a larger atom. Therefore, bond length increases. Therefore, the bond energy will become less. Because if the bond length increases, then it is very easy to break the bond by spending less energy. Therefore, the bond energy decreases. So this is about bond enthalpy, and we have discussed four parameters: bond length, bond order, bond angle, and bond enthalpy. Thank you for watching.